London Marathon's getting closer. I think we're around about 3.5 weeks to go, so not long. It's the final few weeks of preparation, and yeah, I guess every day counts now, doesn't it? So it's just a case of keeping the foot on the gas, following the programme, so I make sure I'm in the right possible place and position going into the marathon. I'm Eve Muirhead, current Olympic champion in the sport of curling. Yeah, training's been going really well. It's been a couple months since I last saw you guys, and yeah, we've definitely done a lot of miles since then. I can't say my feet are overly enjoying it, and it's hard on the body, isn't it? And more importantly, I think it's hard on the mind as well, especially the long runs when you're out there for a couple hours. It's finding something that keeps you focused and keeps you driven. There isn't one day that I wake up and I decide I'm not going to train that day. Like every day, as much as sometimes it's hard, I always do it, and I will always do it. And regardless of whether I had the marathon or not, it's always been part of me is to keep fit and healthy. And it was the same throughout my curling career. Like I probably couldn't tell you one day that I missed training. So yeah, like of course the motivation sometimes can be low, especially when it was dark mornings and got dark early. But you go and you get it done, and there's that kind of sense of satisfaction when you get it done and when you're finished. And when you sit down at night and have your dinner or watch TV, knowing that you did your training that day to the best of your ability or the best you can do, there is that sense of kind of pride, and you're kind of quite pleased with yourself. In terms of motivation and my fundraising, like that's one thing that definitely does drive me on. Knowing that people are very kindly donating to My Name's Doddy charity that I'm running it for, that obviously helps me keep driven and keeps me driving towards the very last step on the day. So there's lots of key kind of motivational parts of it, but I guess the biggest is raising money for this very special charity. The majority of the time I have actually done it on my own, but I quite enjoy that, if I'm honest. I quite enjoy just kind of getting out, kind of clears your mind, doesn't it? And a lot of it is very weather dependent when you're here in Scotland, especially with the marathon being April time. A lot of the training's been throughout the winter, so there's been some mornings you get up and there's snow outside, or there's ice all over the roads, and you just can't. So a lot of that's been on the treadmill. But yeah, like I don't mind doing things on my own. Of course, I've got a lot of friends and family that are my #1 fans, and they'll support me until the bitter end. So that's always makes it a little nicer. So just having a wee look at my training plan here, and it's quite actually nice to see how much the kind of mileage has gone up in the last few blocks. Next few days are a little easier leading up to a half marathon, then I can only guess it'll be easier leading into the actual marathon as well, but I've still got to get that programme. But it's an example here of the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of variety between some interval training, some work on the track if I can get there, some longer runs, but also some shorter runs at faster paces as well. A horrible long run in there, which is never nice to see, but just get on with it. A few days that are actually double days, so if I can fit it in, like a run in the morning, like here's an example, like 9 miles easy in the morning, and then if I can 5 to 6 miles in the evening. I remember Steve always saying that it's a good way to get miles in, and breaking it up a little bit. A couple of fartlek sessions as well, but also more importantly there's a few rest days, which is nice. Not very many, but there is a few. Fueling during a run, it's definitely been a challenge, and it's also been a big kind of learning for me, because it's nothing that I've ever done in the past is fuel during a workout. Because in the past my workouts have either been a strength session or probably like a CrossFit type WOD, and like you don't fuel really during it apart from some hydration. But As I say, being a challenge, it's something that I've wanted to kind of overcome and find what works best for me. And it's funny, so you take your gels out on your runs, and especially in the longer runs, it's something to like look forward to, which sounds sad, but you think, God, at 10k I can have this gel, and then at 20k I can have my next gel. And like for me, that's been something that's quite exciting. And I found a kind of routine that probably works best for me. As much as, yeah, like it's difficult to kind of eat or to take a gel when you're still running, it's something that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So this is my gels. These are definitely my favourite ones, the orange ones. I tend to use them. I have got a few that's got caffeine in them, but I'm going to stay away from caffeine, I think. On race day, these blackcurrant ones are also nice. Trying a little bit of variety. I use a lot of different products throughout my training, whether it's some strength work I do, running, I still do a bit of CrossFit. I always tend to take a protein shake after. I love the OTE chocolate. And even the hydro tabs. It's one thing that I've never really used throughout my career being an athlete, and it's something that I've started using, and it's so much better because like I'm awful at drinking. Like I've always tried to be good at drinking water and keeping hydrated, but when you've got a hydro tab, just makes life so much easier. What I've realised is very important is warming up, cooling down, stretching, foam rollering, because like preventing injury is probably my #1 priority. Like I really don't want to get injured leading up to or on the day. So if I can be as best prepared as I can, and if that means just spending 10-15 minutes a day on the foam roller, that's definitely going to help me. As much as it's horrible, it's just a world of pain. I know I'm going to benefit from it and hopefully prevent injury at the end of the day. Fundraising's been going really well for the charity My Name's Doddy that I'm running for, and it's a charity that I'm very passionate about. I'm an ambassador for them, and I really want to find a cure for motor neurons. It's such a horrible disease, and it's starting to affect, or it is affecting a lot of people. So fundraising's going great. I would like to keep that going. I'd like to keep pushing it as much as I can up to the event. And hopefully on the day I can do everyone proud that's helped me, that's donated to me, and more importantly, like, it's just a massive thank you to everyone that has, because I do know it will go to a great cause, and hopefully one day we will find that cure. Do you know what, I am very much looking forward to London Marathon. It's one of those events that I've always watched as a kid on TV. A few family members have done it. And it's one event that I've always wanted to do, and why not do it the year I retire? So I'm very lucky to have got into it, and as much as I moan about the training, I moan about the pain, I just can't wait for the day, if I'm honest. It's the day after my birthday, so there won't be too many birthday celebrations on the Saturday night, but I hopefully have a bit of a celebration on the Sunday once it's completed.